Welcome back to the Business Book Club.
Great to be here.
Today we're diving into something that, well, affects pretty much everyone listening, especially entrepreneurs, teams, anyone swimming in information overload.
Focus, or maybe the lack of it.
Exactly. We're unpacking stolen focus, why you can't pay attention, and how to think deeply again by Johann. A really compelling book.
It really is.
Hari's own story kicks it off. He talks about this moment, sitting on a sofa with his godson, and they're both just staring at their screens.
Completely disconnected, right?
Yeah, this deep sense of dread, like this isn't living. And that feeling, it basically sparked this huge journey for him.
A 30,000-mile journey, wasn't it? Talking to experts all over the world.
Over 250 of them. Trying to understand why our attention feels like it's just slipping away. And, importantly, how we might get it back.
And what's crucial, I think, is how his personal quest taps into something much bigger, something researchers are seeing too.
It's not just him feeling it.
No, not at all. He found that this isn't just about, needing more willpower or self-discipline. There are these powerful systemic forces actually reshaping how we think, our ability to think deeply.
Okay, so let's dig into that. This feeling that our attention spans are shot. Is it just a feeling, or is there, actual proof?
Oh, it's definitely measurable. Hari highlights some fascinating research. There was one big study, Professor Soon Lehman's team in Denmark.
Right, I remember reading about that.
They looked at data going back over 130 years. Things like Twitter trends, book topics, you name it.
And what did they find?
That topics, ideas, cultural moments, they flash up and disappear faster and faster each decade.
Wow, so things just don't stick around as long.
Exactly. The internet definitely poured fuel on the fire, but the trend was already there, building for generations. Our collective cultural attention span is shrinking.
That's slightly terrifying.
It raises a huge question, doesn't it? What's all this speed, this constant churn of information actually doing to our brains?
Yeah, especially when everything around us screams, faster is better. Those old tech slogans, BlackBerries, anything worth doing is worth doing faster.
Or Google's unofficial one. If you're not fast, you're fucked. Pretty blunt.
Super blunt. But is faster always better when it comes to thinking? To really understanding things?
Well, scientifically, the answer seems to be a pretty clear no. Think about speed reading.
Right, you can learn to skim faster.
You can train yourself, sure, but the studies show it comes at a real cost. You understand significantly less.
So you're just processing words, not meaning.
Pretty much. There's a limit to how fast we can genuinely absorb information. Pushing past that doesn't make you smarter, it just makes you understand less.
Okay, so speed isn't the answer. What's the alternative?
Slowness, actually. Deliberate slowness. Professor Guy Claxton talks about this, things like yoga, tai chi, activities that force you to slow down.
And these help with attention.
Significantly. He says we need to shrink the world to fit our cognitive bandwidth. Basically, give our brains less to juggle at once.
Yeah.
Because deep processing takes time.
Slowness nurtures attention, speed shatters it. I like that.
It's a good way to put it.
So for someone listening, someone struggling to focus in their fast-paced job, how do they apply this? How do you find slowness?
Well, Hari mentions a neuroscientist, Earl, who compares the brain to a muscle. You have to train it.
How?
He suggests starting small. Try monotasking. Just one thing, no distractions, for maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes seems doable.
Then allow yourself a minute of distraction. Then gradually, increase the focus time, 15 minutes, 20.
Like building up endurance at the gym.
Exactly. You're strengthening those neural pathways for sustained attention. It's a practice.
That makes sense. But Hari also found it wasn't just about losing focus on something, right? There's something else we're losing.
Yes. This was a huge insight for him, I think. The loss of mind wandering.
Right. He talks about being in Provincetown, feeling guilty for not working, not focusing.
But then on these long, aimless walks, boom, creativity floods back.
He said he made more connections on one walk than in a whole month back home.
Yeah. Which makes you question how we value different kinds of thinking. We prize focus, but maybe we undervalue just letting the mind drift.
Is there science behind that? The value of mind wandering?
Absolutely. Researchers like Nathan Sprang and Jonathan Smallwood have shown it's not just empty daydreaming, it's vital.
Vital for what?
For making sense of our experiences, organizing our goals, sparking creativity, even for making more patient long-term decisions.
Interesting.
Think of that famous example, the mathematician Henri Poincaré.
Oh yeah, the bus guy.
Exactly. He wasn't hunched over his desk, hyper-focused. He cracked this complex problem just as his mind wandered while stepping onto a bus. His unconscious was doing the work.
So it's like we need both, the spotlight of focus and the floodlight of mind wandering.
Perfectly put. Marcus Rachel, a pioneer in this field, uses a symphony analogy. Focus is the solo oboe. Clear, precise, but mind-wandering. That brings in the whole orchestra, strings, brass, everything. It creates this richer, more complex tapestry of thought.
We need the whole symphony, not just the solo.
We absolutely need both.
Okay, so we need focus and mind wandering. But then there's this other layer, the tech itself. Hari makes a strong case that our distraction isn't entirely our fault. It might be, by design.
That's a really unsettling part of the book. He talks to people like James Williams, formerly at Google.
What did Williams say?
He argued that doing a digital detox is like wearing a gas mask during an air pollution crisis. It helps the individual temporarily, but it doesn't fix the polluted air.
Meaning it doesn't fix the underlying system that's causing the distraction.
Exactly. He says our attention is being fundamentally altered by these huge societal forces, especially persuasive technologies.
Persuasive technologies, what are those exactly?
Basically, platforms designed specifically to change your behavior, often without you even realizing it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hari quotes Chamath Palihapitiya, a former Facebook VP.
I think I remember this quote.
He basically admitted to an audience that they consciously asked, how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible?
Wow. Just laid it out there.
And features we take for granted, like infinite scroll.
Designed by Raskin, right?
Yes. He designed it specifically to keep people scrolling, to keep them hooked. He later felt really uneasy about it, watching people just endlessly scrolling through, as he put it, crap.
So the constant pings, the endless feeds, it's not a bug, it's a feature.
It absolutely is. It feeds the business model, surveillance capitalism.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, these companies often make money not just by selling you stuff, but by keeping your eyeballs glued to the screen. Every extra second you spend scrolling or watching means more ad revenue, more data collected.
They lose money when we look away.
Precisely. And the algorithms learn what keeps us hooked. Often, unfortunately, that's negativity.
Negativity, how so?
We have this built-in negativity bias. We pay more attention to threats, to anger, to outrage. The algorithms exploit that because outraged or angry content gets more engagement, more clicks, more shares.
So they promote the stuff that makes us mad.
Studies show it. Add moral outrage to a tweet, retweets jump by 20% per outraged word. It's not always, mustache-twirling villains doing it, but it's the outcome of a system designed for maximum engagement.
Even the engineers, like Raskin, felt like they'd created a monster they couldn't control. Like Dr. Frankenstein.
That's the analogy Harry uses, yeah.
Yeah.
A real sense of unintended or maybe poorly understood consequences.
Okay, this is getting heavy. If the tech is designed this way, if the whole system pushes us towards distraction, then is telling someone to just try harder really fair or effective?
That brings us to this idea Harry explores called cruel optimism. Professor Ronald Purser coined it.
Cruel optimism.
It's when you take a massive systemic problem, like the attention crisis, and you offer only tiny individualistic solutions. Just turn off your notifications. Just manage your time better.
And when that doesn't work, because the system is still there.
You blame yourself. You feel like a failure. It leads to despair, not solutions.
So it kind of lets the companies off the hook, puts all the burden on the individual?
That's the argument. If companies profit from the distraction and then sell you individual fixes, are they really solving the problem or just deflecting? Screen time reports might help a bit, but they frame you as the problem.
And Hari found it wasn't just tech, right? There were other big factors stealing our focus.
Oh, absolutely. It's a multi-pronged attack on our attention.
Yeah.
He identified several huge ones.
Okay, let's run through them. What's first?
Sleep deprivation. It's massive. Huge numbers of people, especially in places like the US and UK, are chronically sleep deprived.
Getting less than, 7 hours?
Often much less. And for kids, it's terrible. Sleep deprivation can make them hyperactive, unable to pay attention. Sometimes it even looks like ADHD.
Wow. Okay, sleep. What else?
Our diet. Sounds maybe surprising, but Hari points to studies on food additives, certain dyes.
The ones banned in Europe, but still in U.S. foods.
Exactly. Shown to make kids significantly more hyperactive, hitting their attention directly. And beyond additives, there's growing concern about environmental pollution.
Pollution affecting focus. How?
Things like endocrine disruptors interfering with brain development, Even older issues like lead poisoning, we now know it had huge cognitive impacts. It wasn't just about cleanliness.
So our food, our air, our environment, it's all potentially degrading our focus. What about stress?
Chronic stress is a killer for attention. If you're constantly worried about money, safety, whatever, your brain goes into high alert mode. Vigilant. Always scanning for threats.
Not exactly conducive to deep thought.
Not at all. You can't think clearly or deeply when you're just trying to survive. That study on Indian sugarcane harvesters was fascinating.
Remind me.
When they had financial security after the harvest, their cognitive function improved dramatically, like 13 IQ points difference on average, just from lifting that financial stress.
13 points, that's huge. Driven purely by less stress.
It shows how much bandwidth stress consumes. And tied into that is the culture of overwork.
Ah, yes, the constant pressure to do more, be always on.
Right. We push ourselves way past our cognitive limits, that UK study. Average worker truly engaged for less than 3 hours a day.
Less than 3 hours. Ouch.
But then you see experiments like the 4-day work week, like Andrew Barnes did in New Zealand.
Did that work?
Amazingly well. People were happier, less stressed, and more productive and focused in their 4 days. It challenges the assumption that more hours always equals more output.
Maybe fewer, more focused hours are better.
Seems like it. And remember, even the weekend wasn't a gift. It was fought for by workers demanding reasonable limits.
Good point. Okay, one more big factor, especially relevant long term. What about kids and play?
This is critical. Harry argues the decline of free, unstructured play is seriously damaging kids' ability to develop focus and creativity naturally.
More homework, more screens, less just messing around.
Exactly. He cites studies, even with rats, play-deprived rats, more anxious, worse at dealing with surprises. Rats allowed to play freely, braver, more curious, better problem solvers,
So play isn't just fun, it's how they build fundamental cognitive skills.
including the ability to pay attention and adapt. Taking away play stunts that development. All these things, poor sleep, diet, pollution, stress, overwork, lack of play. They're huge systemic forces, way bigger than individual willpower.
Okay, so putting this all together, what does this deep dive into stolen focus mean for you, the listener, especially if you're an entrepreneur trying to navigate this attention-shredding world?
There are definitely actionable things we can take away, both personally and for our teams.
Let's break them down. First, cultivate deep work habits. This feels fundamental.
Right. Embrace that idea of monotasking Harry talks about. Block out time for focus work, truly distraction-free.
Maybe even a team policy, like do not disturb hours for deep work.
Absolutely. Train that focus muscle, build those neural connections.
Okay, second, engineer for mind wandering. Don't just schedule work, schedule downtime.
Yes. Deliberate breaks, walking meetings maybe, reflective time after big discussions. Don't see it as wasted time.
Allow space for those unexpected connections, like playing carré on the bus.
Exactly. Encourage thinking that isn't always laser-focused on an immediate goal.
Third, audit your tech environment. Be really conscious of how the tools you use are designed.
Look at those persuasive elements. Can you batch notifications? Get a daily summary instead of constant pings, that behavioral cocaine, as Harry calls it.
Reduce the interruptions. Advocate for tech that respects attention, maybe.
It's worth pushing for. Choose tools wisely, minimize the hooks where you can.
Fourth, prioritize holistic well-being. This ties back to those bigger factors.
Definitely. Recognize that focus isn't separate from health. Encourage good sleep habits, maybe support healthy food options, find ways to reduce workplace stress.
Could even explore things like that 40-week concept, if it boosts focus and productivity.
Some companies are finding it does. It's about creating an environment where brains can actually function well.
And finally, number 5, foster a culture of mastery and play.
Give people chances to get really good at things they enjoy. Mastery builds focus. And allow for creative play in problem solving.
Not just rigid processes.
No, create space for experimentation, for trying things out that boosts engagement, motivation, and ultimately focus and innovation.
So it seems reclaiming focus isn't just a solo mission. It's about changing our habits, our teams, maybe even the tools we use.
It's both individual and collective. We need to push back against the forces stealing our attention, but also cultivate practices that protect and nurture it.
It really feels like consciously designing our work and lives to support deep thought, not just constant reaction.
A huge shift, but maybe a necessary one.
Makes you wonder, what if the real competitive advantage in this noisy world isn't being faster or always available?
What if it's the ability to think deeply, to be truly present and focused?
Something to chew on, definitely.
For sure.
That's it for this deep dive. Make sure you subscribe to the Business Book Club for more insights from the books shaping business and thinking today.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.
Now, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. Got a favorite business book you'd love us to explore? Let us know. We're always up for a good read. And hey, don't keep all these insights to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow book lover or your work buddy who's always looking to level up. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.